what is impermanent loss? So previously, we've already discussed that liquidity providers earn fees for liquidity or for providing liquidity, okay, in the different pools, okay? And remember, we said the liquidity pool is built of two currency pairs or two tokens or two coins, okay, that trade against each other, making a tradable pair like BNB cake, BNB BFT, BNB. So there are so many coins, yeah. There are so many tokens built on different blockchain networks, and you can provide liquidity to any of those blockchain networks. It can be tokens running on Binance Smart Chain, tokens running on Solana. So you can provide liquidity to any of those. And by providing liquidity, you get something. You earn fees. And also, once you provide liquidity, you're normally given what we call the liquidity, the LP tokens. Yeah, that is, we say that is like a receipt or the LPO. But now you can go with it to the farms. Okay, you can go with that LPO or that LP tokens to the farms, and you can actually be able to farm even more tokens using that LP tokens. Actually, there are people who provide liquidity for the purposes of getting the LP tokens for the purposes of farming. Let's say, for example, you want to farm a certain project, but for you to be able to do that, you can only do that by having the LP tokens. So you are forced to provide liquidity to a certain currency pair. Once you provide liquidity, you get the LP tokens. Then you can go with those LP tokens to the farm and use them to farm whatever asset you're looking to farm. However, here comes a question whether there is anything else that liquidity providers should be aware of, or it's just providing liquidity and you home and dry. But no, there is what we call the impermanent loss, and that is what I want us to understand, because it's very, very crucial, because nothing or no investment comes without a risk. So what is the risk that is involved with impermanent loss? And that is what I want us to discuss and explain. So we are going to take an example of someone who is called Anita, who is one of our students in this class. And let's say there is a liquidity pool here that has Ethereum and USDT, okay? Ethereum and USDT. So our liquidity pool has Ethereum and USDT. So for example, it means for you to buy Ethereum, you have to come in with USDT. So you put in the USDT in the liquidity pool, you take out the Ethereum, okay? So you put in the USDT in the liquidity pool, you take out the Ethereum. So now, let's say that Anita deposits 1 Ethereum and 100 USDT in a Uniswap pool. Remember, we said when you're providing liquidity, both pairs have to be of the equal value, okay? Or both tokens rather have to be of the equal value. So that is to mean, in our example here, we are assuming that 1 Ethereum is equivalent to how much? Someone. 1 Ethereum is equivalent to how much? Yes, Benson?
100 USDT.
Correct, that's very correct. So 1 Ethereum is equivalent to 100 USDT. So since the token pair needs to be equivalent value, this means that the price of 1 ETH is 100 USDT. Now at the same time, there's a total of 10 Ethereums and 1000 USDT in the pool. Okay, now after Anita has added her 1 Ethereum and 100 USDT, now we have a total of 10 Ethereums and 1000 USDT, meaning there has been other 9 Ethereums and $900 that has been put previously by other liquidity providers. So the rest funded by other liquidity providers, just like Anita. This means now that Anita has a 10% share of the pool. Okay? Does that make sense to everyone? That Anita now has a 10% share of the pool, because it's just provided. Yes. Who do you have? Someone raised the hand. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. So we are saying Anita put in 1 Ethereum and 100 USDT. And now our liquidity pool has 1000 USDT and has 10 Ethereums, okay? Has 10 Ethereum and has 1,000 USDT. Actually, our total liquidity should actually be the total of the Ethereums and the total of USDT, which would be actually 2,000. Now, what happens if the price of Ethereum increases to 400 USDT? So let's say, for example, the price of one Ethereum increases to 400 USDT. Now, remember, the total liquidity in the pool has to remain constant. Okay, so ETH is now 400 USDT. That means that the ratio between how much ETH and how much USDT in the pool has changed. Okay, how much ETH we have, how much Ethereum we have in the pool. By ratio, I mean probably when we had 1,000 USDTs, we had 10 Ethereums. But now the Ethereums have, the value of one Ethereum has gone up to $400. This probably means people have actually put in more USDT in the pool, and this is what has actually made the value of Ethereums to go up. So it means if people have put more USDTs in the pool, it means they have taken Ethereums out from the pool. Okay? It means they have taken Ethereums out from the pool. Now, for that reason, it means the value of Ethereum is going to go up so that it can balance with the value of USDTs that we have in the pool. Does that make sense up to that point? It might sound technical. I know it might sound technical, but it's just a matter of understanding what we are talking about. So we have a pool here. Let me see if I can use a whiteboard and explain what I mean. So we have, this is our liquidity pool, okay? This is our liquidity pool. Don't mind my writing, eh? So this is our liquidity pool. And we've said a liquidity pool needs to have two assets, okay? So I'm going to divide this liquidity pool into two. And on this side, we are going to have Ethereum, okay? Ethereum. And on this side, we are going to have USDT. Okay. Now, what we are saying is, you can see the values. I've divided this by half because if we have 1,000 USDT here, if we have 1,000 here, it means whatever amount of Ethereums that we have here, whether it's 10, whether it's 100, whether it's 5, they have to be equivalent to 1,000. Okay, they have to be equivalent to 1,000. So our liquidity pool will have both USDT and Ethereum at the same time. Now, if more people put in USDT here, it means they are taking out Ethereums, right? So let's assume initially we had 10 Ethereums, okay? Initially we had 10 Ethereums, which were equivalent to 1,000 USDT. So it means each Ethereum was equivalent to $100, okay? So more people have put in USDT. Now these are traders, not liquidity providers in this case. Now these are traders. Now the traders have come and they are putting in more USDTs, meaning they are buying Ethereums and they are reducing the number of the Ethereums in this case. Okay, so as they continue to put more USDT, it means this figure will continue going up. Their $1,000 will continue to go up. But remember, the liquidity pool, the values or the worth of both assets have to be equal. So what will happen, the Ethereums that will be left or the Ethereums that will be remaining in the liquidity pool will have to adjust the price. Okay, so the price of this Ethereum will have to adjust to match whatever the value of the USDTs we have in the pool. Okay, that is basically what we are saying. Now, in our case, we are assuming that the value of USDT, if ETH is now $400, one ETH, that means that the ratio between the ETH and the USDT in the pool has changed. As a matter of fact, there is 5 Ethereum and 2,000 USDT now. Okay, because if you now multiply 5 Ethereum by $400, you are getting 2,000 USDT, which is now equivalent to the 2000 USDT we have in the USDT or the value of the USDT that we have in the pool. Okay. Now, why is this so? Because arbitrage traders will add USDT to the pool, or rather, traders will add USDT to the pool and remove Ethereum from it until the ratio reflects the accurate price. Now, this is crucial. Basically, this happens through what we call the smart contracts. And we said smart contracts are self-executing codes that have already been written and will execute themselves after certain conditions have been met. Now, this is crucial to understand. This is why it is crucial to understand the value or the constant value K, which is now the worth in our liquidity pool. Now, so Anita decides to withdraw her funds. Now, remember, when Anita deposited her 1 Ethereum and her 100 USDT, she got 10% share, okay? She got 10% share of the liquidity pool. And that is to mean from the fees that have been made, let's say, for example, the liquidity pool has generated from the trading activity that is happening. Let's say, for example, they have generated $1,000 as the total fees, and all those fees are actually shared among the liquidity providers. It means Anita will be getting 10% of the fees if all those fees are going to the liquidity providers, because she has a 10% share of the pool. Okay, so if Anita decides to withdraw her funds and gets 10% of the pool according to her share, as a result, she gets 0.5. Okay, now what we mean here is we have 2000 USDT and we have 5 Ethereums in the pool. Okay, so Anita decides to take out 10% of her share. Okay, 10% of her share. So it means out of the 2000, she's going to receive $200, which is 10%, right? And out of the 5 Ethereums, she's going to get, let's see, what is 20% of 5? 5% multiplied by 20%. She's going to get 0.5 Ethereum. Is it 0.5?
1.
She's supposed to get 1, right? No, she's not going to get 1 because remember, she put in 100 USDT. Okay, whatever she put in, she got 10% share of the liquidity pool, right? Now, our liquidity pool has 2000 USDT and has 5 Ethereums. If you multiply 5 Ethereums by the value of 400 USDT, by the value of 1 USDT, which is by the value of 1 Ethereum, which is 400 USDT, that is $2,000, right? Is that so? Do we agree, all of us, that 5 Ethereum multiplied by 400 is 2000 USDT, right? It's $2,000, right? 5 times 400, right? Guys, are we following?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, we are.
So if 5 multiplied by 400 is 2000, and we have 2000 USDT, so in total we have 4000 USDT, right? The value of our total liquidity pool is 4000 USDT, right? So Anita needs to get 10% share of the total liquidity pool that we have, which is 10% of 4,000 is actually 400, right? It's actually 400, right? So she's going to get 200 USDT, okay? And Ethereum's equivalent to 200 USDT, right? Ethereum's equivalent to 200 USDT, which is actually 0.5. Because if you do 0.5 multiply by 400, you get 200, okay? So 0.5 Ethereum and 200 USDT makes it $400. Is that so? Which is 10% of the total liquidity pool amount that we have, which is $4,000. Is that so? Are we together up to that point?
Yes.
Good. Now, so Anita decides to withdraw her funds and gets 10% of the pool according to her share. So as a result, she's getting 0.5 Ethereum and 200 USDT, totaling correct, totaling to 400 USDT. Now, remember, she put in how much when we started? She put in 1 Ethereum, which was equivalent to $100, right? And she put in 100 USDT. So she put in a total of how much? Guys,
200.
200. And now she's getting how much?
400.
400. So has she made money or lost money?
Made money.
You may think that she made money, but well, it looks like she made money because she's getting 400 back and she put in 200 back. And remember also, she has actually gotten the fees. She has actually earned some fees from providing the liquidity. Okay, because what the 400 she's getting back is just the share that she provided. And also remember, as the transactions were happening, there are some small fees that she was earning, so which might even amplify the 400 to maybe 400 and something or 500 and something. But now, if you do the real mathematics, Anita has actually lost money instead of making money. Now, why? What would have happened if Anita did not provide the liquidity, and she decided to stay with her 1 Ethereum and her 100 USDT? Remember, the value of Ethereum has gone up to 400. So if she stayed with her 1 Ethereum, she would be having $400 of the 1 Ethereum plus her $100 that she had provided as in the liquidity pool. So in total, she would be having how much?
500.
Correct. 500. That is why, now that is what we call impermanent loss. Whatever Anita suffered is impermanent loss because she provided liquidity and the value of the assets in the liquidity pool fluctuated. Okay? The value of the assets in the liquidity pool fluctuated. So, what would have happened if she didn't put her funds in the pool? She'd have 1 Ethereum and 100 USDT, which would have totaled into 500. So in fact, Anita would have been better off by hodling rather than depositing into the Uniswap pool. Now, in this case, the impermanent loss is essentially the opportunity cost of pooling a token that appreciates in price. This just means that by depositing funds into Uniswap in hopes of earning fees, Anita may lose out on other opportunities like the price appreciation. Because remember, she's not going to get back 1 Ethereum, she's going to get a share of whatever she provided in the liquidity pool, not the exact assets that she gave to the liquidity pool. Does that make sense up to that point?
Yes.
Good. So it's very important to note that this effect works regardless of what direction the price changes from the time of the deposit. So this means if the price of ETH decreases compared to the time of the deposit, the losses may also be amplified. Okay? But why is the loss impermanent? Now, if the price of the pool tokens returns to the price when they were added to the pool, the effect is mitigated. So, for example, if there is no change in value of the asset, it means she will definitely get back whatever she deposited. You get? She will definitely get back whatever she deposited. And in that case, because the value has not changed, then it means she's not going to suffer any loss. Okay? Also, since liquidity providers earn fees, the loss may get balanced out over time. Even so, liquidity providers need to be aware of these before adding funds to a pool. Okay? So it's that simple. It just means that you might end up losing some money, okay, by providing liquidity. So normally, it's advised to, when you're providing liquidity, always pick a pair that has a stable coin against it, okay? Because now you can imagine if the value of, for example, let's say we had taken a liquidity pool that has two volatile currencies like Ethereum and BNB. If the value of Ethereum goes up, it means you're going to receive less Ethereums when you're removing your liquidity. If the value of BNB goes down, it means you're going to receive more BNBs when you remove the liquidity. And this could have a negative effect. Also, it also depends if there will be more people who have provided liquidity in the pool. Because remember, the more the liquidity providers in the pool, the lower the returns that you're going to get as far as the fees are concerned. Because it means because the pool has so many people who are expecting to receive something from the liquidity pool by providing the liquidity. So you find that when a liquidity pool has so many liquidity providers, the amount of money that you get, it's very insignificant. It's very little. But remember what I said, there are people who provide liquidity for the purposes of being able to get the liquidity pool tokens and go and farm some other assets. Yeah, because you cannot farm without having the LP tokens. Okay, so there are people who will provide liquidity just for the purposes of getting the LP tokens so that they can use those LP tokens to go and farm another project. Okay, so I just wanted to explain what impermanent loss is, and I hope that is well understood, unless there's someone who has a question on that.